choose to fight for a world beyond. It is not too late. It's your home, so don't say that it's fair. We're never willing to give up till our future is built on our dreams. Even through lost times, many tears, not all for nothing. To give up is not a choice. It's a fight we have to win. There's no other way, can be done with nothing instead. To save our future from hands that would take what we're left with our dreams.
I love this game, and I love the soundtrack. I hope that you are all doing wonderful, chat room. Anyway, today I'm playing Phantasy Star Universe for the PC on a private server that's called Clementine. It's been up since like 2015 or so, and it has made some significant progress. It's like actually playable now, and I've been here for about a week or so. I already made 4 characters, and I got one of them to level 50 or something. I forgot how far I got. Now, I'm gonna do something I shouldn't be doing, and I'm just gonna troubleshoot live on stream. There we go. Now the game's actually showing up. Now, I'm gonna log in. "51, that's how far I got. I've been neglecting my other characters, something I should not be doing. And since I play with the game music off, I'm gonna start playing my own music. I hope it is to your liking, chat room. Now I forgot what I was doing before I logged off, so I'm not sure what to do. I can't read what that person just said. Might not be important. I do know one thing I want to do. I want to explore. That's what made me play this game all the way back in 2008. Exploration's fun. Where haven't I gone? Oh, there's somewhere on MoTube I haven't gone. Oh, by the way, chat room, I hope you all are staying hydrated. I've had plenty of water today, so I'm rewarding myself with a drink of ginger ale. Good stuff. Now, this game has aged. Whether if it has aged well or not is up to you, but I think it's just fine the way it is, which is why I'm still playing it in the year of our Lord 2021. Even though it has some pretty outdated mechanics in it, like attacks missing in an action RPG. Like, you can smack something in the face and you'll see a miss. A little frustrating, gotta be honest. But it's what makes this game what it is, because it's a spiritual successor to Phantasy Star Online. If you put these games side by side, you'll kinda sorta get what I mean. But you probably won't get it just by looking at character designs alone. Speaking of Phantasy Star Online, what the heck happened with PSU 2? I was really excited for New Genesis, then we kinda sorta got a beta test for a video game. And the aesthetics looked good at first, but they seemed to be moving away from the sci-fi aesthetic that I love so much. I think it was this game that, like, formulated my fascination with sci-fi. Also, enemies don't always become hittable the moment they show up. That's another small quirk that this game has. But yeah, it seems that Phantasy Star is becoming less sci-fi, more so sterilized, if that's the word to use. Because it's kinda sorta looking more and more like mainstream anime instead of doing its own thing. It's not super duper obvious, but in this game the characters have their own kinda style. It's like a strange middle ground between the anime style and realistic. And I wish that more games did that instead of trying to be as, you know, bred as possible. I couldn't think of the right word to use, so I just, you know, like straight up bread. When you didn't toast it, you didn't put any butter on it, it's just bread as is. It has no substance? It has no spice, no sauce. Like, I noticed it when I started playing Phantasy Star Portable too. But it didn't really bother me then because there was still the fact that it was a Phantasy Star game with tons of sci-fi elements. Like interplanetary travel and the casual use of futuristic technology like shields in your clothing. But it became significantly more apparent in PSO 2 when the design started becoming different. Different how? Shoot, I don't know how to exactly put it into words, but all I gotta say is look at the characters on the box art compared to Phantasy Star Online and Phantasy Star Online 2, and you'll have a vague idea of what I'm talking about. The person named Ash in Phantasy Star Online and in Phantasy Star Online 2 are completely different individuals. And this isn't just me saying unga bunga anime bad, because yeah, I like me some anime. One of my favorite pieces of media is anime. But a lot of shit's starting to look the same. And like I said, it's kinda breading. Kinda, I said sterilized already, didn't I? But yeah. I think if I decided to put this rant inside of a video, it would probably be better because I'd have time to write a script. But no, I'm just spitting words and hoping that they make a good sentence. Oh yeah, another thing about PSO 2, they get rid of crafting. You could craft your own weapons inside this game. Love doing that because these weapons that I'm holding right now, these twin sabers, I made these just the other day. Very proud of them. You could make a lot of stuff in this game. You could even make your own healing items, make your armor, but the focus is on making weapons like these sabers here. They're not super duper special, and the crafting system has a couple of flaws, like it essentially being a way to lengthen the game by making you farm for materials, but I still liked it because it felt personal. Because you got out there and you got the materials, and then you can use your weapon in the field instead of taking it to an NPC. And it's instantly there in your hands. There was a bit of suspense in crafting weapons because they can fail in this game, believe it or not. It's disappointing to see, but you know, I still like it, kinda sorta. Actually no, I take that back. I absolutely retract that statement. Crafting having a chance to fail is probably one of the worst pieces of design this game has ever done. But it's still what makes this game what it is. That's one thing I'll take off the nostalgia goggles for. Why did Sonic Team think that was a good idea? Well, no, because this was a pay-to-play MMO back in the day, so you gotta keep playing somehow. I don't know what else to say about crafting because I kinda sorta just described everything. You go out in the field, you pick up stuff like this, and then you go to your room because every player in this game has a little room. You take it to a small little robot, and then the robot puts the pieces together for you, and it has a chance to fail. It depends on the type of thing you're trying to craft, because most high-level weapons have like a 50-50 chance. Meanwhile, these sabers that I have right here had a 60% chance to work. And I thank the holy light that they actually came out right. Wait, no, not these. These. And they came out with a pretty decent element of 40% ice. Happy about that. Crafting is cool because it helps you get high level weapons kinda sorta early, because otherwise you'd be relying on drop rates. And Phantasy Star drop rates are kinda sorta atrocious. They're invisible too, because, you know, you don't want someone knowing that they're about to hunt for an item that has a 0.005% chance of dropping from a rare enemy. Ginger ale. But I think this game got better with the drop rates because the original PSO was kind of cryptic with the way it dropped items. Because depending on your character's name, race, and class, you got assigned a section of drops. That was very strange. And I do not like that system, but some people like it regardless, and I can't be mad at them because they grew up with that. You're kinda sorta biased toward the thing you grew up with. Which is why I'm still freaking playing this dang game. Oh, another thing that I really like about this game is photon arts. Not every, but you know, this game introduced little attacks that you can do with your weapons. The super moves, so to speak. This game's gameplay essentially boils down to do photon arts. Whenever you're unable to do photon arts, use a photon charge to get the photon points back. Or the PP. Haha. Wait, that was a diamond. Photon arts are cool because the more you do them, they start leveling up, and eventually they get stronger and you can do more parts of them. Because first part, and then once you get stronger you can do the second part and the third part. It gives you a sense of progress. Or at least that's what it does for me. Because once I see that something gets leveled up to level 21, I feel happiness inside my brain because I can do the whole combo of this photon art that I worked for. And I leveled it up. And now my swords are super strong because I'm using it. But it's kind of sort of an annoying system because you can't use the entire photon art the moment you use it. You need to use the photon art over and over to make it stronger. Because when you start using something, you only do... Oof, words are kinda hard. But when you start using a photon art, you can only use the first part like this. And it's kind of painful doing this over and over. How have I been? I've been doing well. And I hope that you are doing well, viewer. But, as I was saying, photon arts, it's a mixed bag, because if you're me, I like the way they work. But if you're someone who started playing one of the later Phantasy Star games, you'd think this is frustrating because you start off with the low-level photon art and you can't use the whole thing. It's kind of like buying a $60 game and it comes out with unfinished and half the missing content and, you know. Because sometimes photon arts require you to do some farming, or they're really expensive inside the game. But you'd just be doing one part over and over until you can suddenly do the second part. And then later on you'll be able to do the third part. It's even more monotonous with range photon arts because guns have them too. They're just called bullets. Very creative. Speaking of guns, playing Ranger in this game isn't as fun as I thought it would be. Because in the original PSO, you had to worry about positioning with working with the game's auto-target system, but in this game, you have to manually position yourself. Let's see, I have these guns here, I'll try to demonstrate, but like... I have to manually move myself every time I want to aim, or I can just strafe like this. This works, but it's kinda sorta annoying with other weapons that are not twin handguns. Speaking of twin handguns, I should switch the bullet. It is nice to play Ranger because you have access to all the elements. Because elements play a big part of this game. You notice the little fire icon next to these enemies? That means they're weak to ice. But I'm not going to use ice right now because I want to level up these electricity bullets. There's the level up. I love that sound so much. Speaking of these guns, I love these guns! The Phantasy Star series has a whole bunch of firearms that are just guns in a world full of laser guns, and I love these for being just guns. I love these guns. Wish more games did that. Sci-fi games in particular, because I know Xenoblade Chronicles does that. I love Charla for just being a sniper with, you know, a regular-ass sniper rifle instead of something that shoots laser bullets. She doesn't have a laser sword, she doesn't have a weird katana made of robot armor. She just has an anti-material rifle. I love Charla for that. Speaking of Xenoblade, play Xenoblade. It's a great game. If you can get used to the strange combat, the game's great, trust me. And Charla's there. Some of these drops are a little strange, but that just might be because I'm playing on a lower difficulty right now. I'm alone, and nobody does these missions, so I wanna make sure I complete this dang mission. I forgot what I was just talking about. I think I was talking about guns. Oh yeah, guns. And positioning and all that. Because my character's class is Fight Gunner, someone that focuses on melee combat with a side of ranged weaponry, I don't have any magic weapons right now. I only have a couple of swords, a pair of ground-based brass knuckles, and one pair of magnums. I also have this thing that I got from killing the final boss. Very interesting weapon. These are weak to fire. But I think I would... No, yeah, this is what I was complaining about, because back in the original PSO you had to shoot, make sure the enemy wasn't close, walk back, shoot on a rhythm, but in this game, there's no strong attacks for guns. You just press the button over and over. And I can see how this is an improvement in one aspect, because in one way you get flat damage instead of having to rely on the rhythm system of old PSL. But in the same breath, you just kinda reduce the fun of the things, I think. Am I making any sense? I hope I am. And here's a boss room. I forgot what boss this is. The Demogolus. This boss is a test of patience. Normally this cutscene would have sound, but because I have the game's music off, and for some reason that cutscene sound is tied to the game's music, there's no sound. This enemy can inflict stun. That's nice. I'm gonna wait for you to go to your spot. It goes like clockwise or something like that, and then... Oh yeah, this is a good time to give an epilepsy warning, because whenever I go into first person with guns, there's going to be muzzle flashes. And they might trigger something for people that are photosensitive. I personally do not have photosensitive epilepsy, but be careful. I probably should have bought some actual boosting items instead of just relying on what I got in the field. Oh, another thing I loved about this game. The beast race. They could transform into giant monsters. I love that. I think that's what, you know, started a long series of dominoes falling. And here's that test of patience I mentioned. This boss likes to fly in the air and not come down. Like, at all. It likes to just stay there. Cast tornadoes and just stay in the air. I don't have any ranged attacks in this form. I'm just kinda here. With significantly higher defense. Yeah, there's not much I can do about this. I just gotta wait it out. Are you done up there? Well, that transformation is over now. Oh, that's it, I killed it. That's GG. I was a bad streamer and didn't bother actually looking at how the stream would look before I started streaming, so I'm just glad that the music overlay and the chat are in decent spots. I don't have like 50 viewers per stream, so I'm not gonna have a particularly erratic chat, thankfully. But still, I'm glad it all worked out. That saber is worse than the one I have right now. I will sell it. It's a photon charger. Where's the guy? There's the guy. They moved the sales guy. Why'd they do that? This private server has some flaws, such as moving the sales guy. Anyway. Oh. Thank you, Gus Cordy, for your feedback. I rely on viewers like you for the support. I don't know how interesting this stream is gonna be with sound only though. Because it's gonna be grunting, me, and a couple of UI sounds. And sometimes enemy noises. When did I get a grilled hot dog in my inventory? That just got me thinking, we really do just grill hot dogs. I always thought that they were fried, despite the fact that they're actually grilled the entire time. I don't know why I thought like that. It just makes sense to call them fried. Thank you for the compliment, Gus Cordy. Feel that in my heart, in my soul. Do I want to craft that? I will try. Now, I tried to craft something a few days ago. It's time to check on it. Synthesize an item, take out item, double saber. Please tell me it worked. It worked! No, it didn't. It didn't work. It... Why did they keep the happy noise? Despite the fact that the item failed to craft. You've had hot dogs, boiled, fried, grilled. I don't think I've actually had a fried hot dog, but where I'm from, down south in Texas, I've seen people prepare them by boiling them. I boil them whenever I don't want to grill them. And I've had them grilled. Hot dogs are great. I love having them whenever there's a barbecue. I don't think I've ever heard actual feedback on boiled hot dogs though. I mean, it comes out fine. To me at least. I can't believe that failed. I'm just so sad. Anyway, let's try crafting a different double saber. Maybe this one will work. There's a 60% chance. What element? Make it neutral, but that's not always the best thing to do. They could make it ground, but I already have a ground element weapon like that. I don't have enough to make it light, or I could make it dark. Fire it is. I have the other materials ready. Let's synthesize it. And now I wait. There's also recipes to upgrade inferior items to make them better. Quite a few in those. I'm glad that they're here. Do I have enough? I'll get that later. Anyway, like I said, there's gonna be a lot of menu sounds. Because, it's a big part of this game. Fiddling around in the menus. A lot of fiddling around in the menus. Wait, don't stop the synthesis. Let me take it out. I really want a choripan right now. I hope I pronounced that right. Choripan? I've never heard that. I wonder what that is. I can only assume it's made of bread because pan. And Tex-Mex is pretty big in Texas, the state right next to Mexico. Wait, I did all that to just get one? I gotta keep doing that to get one at a time? Oh, this is a video game. Oh, this is a lot of menuing. Why do I do this to myself? Like a hot dog, but with margherita bread and chorizo. I don't think I've ever had chorizo in my life, and I get the feeling that I'm missing out. It tastes great, but I don't know what that is either. When I have money again, I need to go out and experience things when the world is not ending. It feels like people have just kinda stopped fearing the Black Death 2.0. Oh, I'm gonna craft this soon. Don't know when, but I'm gonna do it. Eventually, I'm gonna have to replace that board. I think this is the last time I can craft with it. Yep, that's the last time. It was nice enough to remove itself from my storage, thankfully. How many times? 2 more times I can convert metal. Okay, okay. I honestly should do the smart thing and use the internet since I'm at a computer right now. Now. Maybe I won't. I'm doing a thing right now. One last conversion. Let's do this. Well, that was the last one. I should probably replace those now. What are the daily quests? But all this talk about food is making me want to do things like eat. I don't know how long I'm going to be live. Maybe an hour and a half at best. That's just a guesstimate. I don't know how long it's actually going to be whenever this VOD goes up on YouTube. And I need to get better at uploading my VODs. If I'm gonna be a content creator like I've always dreamed of, I should at least get some good habits. I just love Chinese takeout so much. No matter where you go in Houston, there's always some place, there's always a Chinese restaurant that has good food, cheap cost, and it's ready in about 5 minutes. You literally get all three. You get good, cheap, and fast food. I could not ask for more. Most of the time, you can get like 10 bucks of food, and it'll last you for 2 days. I love living here, sometimes. Are those two women identical? No, they're not. They look like they're twins, though. Oh, here we go. Wait, no. No, I'm not gonna buy that. I'm too broke for that. There we go. I'm gonna be doing a lot of this. Apologies if this gameplay isn't too stimulating, so to speak. But, think of it as a payoff that you get. Because once you prepare all the things, the gameplay gets better. And I took very big precautions about the music that I play on stream. I'm gonna be so pissed if everything gets smited just because I played one wrong thing. Like, is Konami really gonna be angry if I play Bomberman 64 music on stream? They're not even reselling that game, are they? I don't know. I don't think they're selling Bomberman 64. But old games are usually the way to go. Yep, I knew I had a whole bunch of this. This should probably help me catch up. Wait, can I take out that double saber yet? No. 51. Oh, that's gonna take an hour. I see, I see. More of this. I probably should have bought another one of those. Yeah. Keep production going fast. Oh, I forgot to go to the casino! I'll do the things in there. This game had a casino before PSO 2 did. This game's casino lets you redeem rewards that are better than PSO 2's because there are weapons inside this game's casino. Hang on a second, I have 2 viewers? Oh, that's crazy. But it would be hilarious if there were just like a bunch of angry men in suits just approaching me one day because I played some frickin' Bomberman music. Bomberman music. Speaking of Bomberman, is he dead or is he alive? Because I knew there was a new game, but it feels like, judging by people's opinions, I think it might be lacking the soul that games need to thrive. Soul is very important. But it is cool that they put a lot of crossover characters inside the new Bomberman game. Like, they put a Fall Guy in there. And they put Robbie from Silent Hill in there, and I think they put the Belmonts in there. And isn't Big Boss there? I don't remember. This is an interesting shop to have here. I know this is not in the original game. Or did they just move her? Did they move the upgrading lady? You're new. Or are you new? That's where you buy materials. Screw that. Oh, that's what they did. They put the materials over here and the boards over here. But why is this lady here instead of inside of the... I just realized that they just put these salesmen inside of a cage. Sega didn't really think this through, did they? Unless they like have a trap door they go through, but... Once you Once you start working here, you're imprisoned. In a way, it's beautiful. It represents how life is today. They don't have the thing that I'm looking for here. So I just entered and left without buying anything. I couldn't even make the prisoners happy. I'm still thinking about copyright because sometimes if you play an old video game song, it'll get recognized as something completely freaking different because some SoundCloud rapper decided to sample that video game song and then they put it on streaming services and it gets recognized by YouTube, and now suddenly you can't monetize because you used their song without permission. Which is why I'm kind of sort of afraid of streaming one particular Tekken 4 song, because a SoundCloud rapper sampled it for one of his songs. And if I play it, I might get clapped. I just might get clapped. Receive 5 silver coins a day. And these are the rewards. I'm trying to aim for this chainsaw sword called the Chainsawed. But I also want to buy this grenade launcher because it's very funny. If I get it, I'm going to put it on stream and show you why it's so good. And while I'm here, I should leave a bet, just in case. Why not? I'm at the casino. Maybe I should edit some shortcuts. Hold on. Use cons moon. Use cons make it start. There we go. Wait. I hope I bet properly. There's apparently some math involved to this roulette, but I hate math. So you're never gonna catch me doing any math. The most math I've ever done was calculating how much damage I do in PSO2 because most of it is just addition for multipliers. Then you gotta add up the damage from photon arts in that game. So I was very wrong. Where do I want to explore today? I will go to Parum. Wait, no. I was doing something else before I decided to sidetrack something. I was going to the colony so I could buy recipes to convert my metal. After I do that, I will convert some metal, and then I will go do a thing and kill monsters, save this doggone world. It's called Starship Earth. Save this doggone world. Do I need... I don't know, should I bother with those? I can't really tell. I just wish that they didn't get my hopes up whenever I craft something. Because regardless if you succeed or fail in Phantasy Star Universe Clementine, you get the success jingle instead of the failure jingle. Okay, so I know Konami doesn't really get anal about Snake Eater. Right? Right? Even so, I could just mute this part because there's nothing productive happening right now. Or I could just do what Jerma did during the Persona 5 concert stream of the Game Awards and go A-E-O. Audio Jungle. Not for honor, but for you. This was the board that I needed to buy more of. This menuing! I needed to buy Metal Convert CB. Okay. Oh man. I've almost been live. Well, almost. Been around for an hour now. You can subtract about 4 minutes because I played this game's intro instead of starting right away. I should have chosen a song that was 2 minutes long instead of doing that. Because that way I'd be playing the game longer. Maybe I'd have more interaction, maybe? I don't know. But at the same time, I don't even look at my viewers. I hope that a shitpost I made a while ago will somewhat boost my channel. Because a while ago, I made it, not a while ago, how long was that? Maybe half a year ago? Geez, 6 months? I don't remember how long it was, but like, where was that? Where's the file? Where's the file? Where's the file? Meme folder. I made these memes. No, I didn't put it here. Dang, where'd I put the freaking sound at then? Auditory shitposting. Oh, yeah. I made the game crash by opening up... I made the game crash by opening a file. Because this is a game from ye old, and the Sonic team was very afraid of cheating back then, if you do something as simple as open up a preview of a file in Windows Explorer, the game will immediately just say no. Anyway, what I was talking about a while ago, I don't know how a while ago. But yeah, I changed my era sound to the Windows XP sound because it's funny. A while ago was a bit of an understatement actually. I made that shitpost last year. So last year I made a shitpost. Dark Souls male undead pain sounds with cave ambience, and it's multi-track, so there's multiple going on at the same time. And there was a French content creator by the name of Savoon. He used my video inside his video, and suddenly I have 100,000 views on a video about Dark Souls moaning. And I don't think I got very many subscribers from it, but it would be nice if somehow that, you know, helped me get something. Just something. Don't know what that something would be, but, you know, something. And just to be safe, always sanitizing the hands every so often. Better safe than sorry. And I'm actually not gonna play this song. I'm gonna go to Rakuga Kids. Doing the thing I said I was gonna do before. I wonder if someone actually really enjoyed the fact that my error sound is from Windows XP. I hope I made someone laugh today. Through all of these menu sound effects. They're kinda sorta out there, because you always hear that sound whenever you select something. I would like to apologize to any future viewers in advance. But yeah, now you know, if a game ever crashes on me, you're just gonna hear a Windows XP. You know, a dong sound. I don't know why, I decided to just onomatopoeia that instead of just playing the sound again, but you know. I decided to make a Taiko no Tatsujin sound. I forgot to put a notification section inside of OBS. So I don't know any activity that I might have missed. I should attach this somewhere. I should leave it around so I can see it later on. Docs, Twitch activity feed. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, it's hanging around. It's hiding. Okay, this is fine. I can see it now. Call me a boomer or old-fashioned, but I don't like the way that Windows 10 got rid of most of the different sound packs from Windows 7. Windows 7 had some pretty good sound packs, like the afternoon one. But it's just absent in Windows 10. It truly is a shame. But once again, I'm glad that people can hear my desktop sounds, because whenever I goof, you will know. And then you can laugh at me or with me. The choice is yours. I think that you're right, Gus Qwerty. I think that Windows 10 has been sterilized to be grown up, so it's kinda sorta very barren. There's no quote-unquote soul there. It's like trying to visit an old friend, but you don't know who they are anymore. And here I am, sounding fake deep, playing this ancient-ass game, listening to music from a game on the N64 that is probably not going to get a comeback. With the profile picture of Nadia Shiki. Rest in peace, Bear Tank. Rakuga Kid just never getting another game. Actually, while we're still talking about Windows, what happened to the insane customization of older systems? Because if you really wanted to, like, pimp out your PC, you could do that with Windows XP and Windows 7. Well, Windows 7 to an extent, but Windows XP was kind of wild because you could change the color of your status bar, change the font of everything. If you really wanted to use the hot dog color, you could use the hot dog color. You could assault everyone's eyes. I'm dropping frames like crazy now, but you know, my anger has caused me to drop frames. My baby rage has done something. It's powerful. I just want my OS to be purple, bro. Or I want it to at least match the color of my current background. But I can only just make the tops of windows match the color of the current background, instead of, you know, everything. It's enough. Because my background's red, everything will be red or have red highlights. Man, I hate how Windows 10 has been integrated into Microsoft accounts and you can't log into Windows 10 unless you have a Microsoft account. I'm so tired of making accounts, bro. It feels like every single thing you want to use these days requires an account. And I'm tired of unsubscribing from newsletters every time I make an account. And I feel like 7 out of 10 people's services, they put you on some weird spam list too. Because my oldest email address has so many freaking spam emails. So many spam emails. Like some spam emails that I didn't even think people could fall for. One of my old passwords got leaked in a data breach. One of my ancient passwords was Chuck Norris, no spaces. And I decided to open my spam email one day. And the subject was Chuck Norris. With no spaces. It was so absurd that I had to open up the email. And it was vaguely threatening. It was not vaguely, but well, yeah, it was vaguely threatening because it said that the person who sent the email knew what sites I had been on and that they were gonna send a list of the sites to everyone I know unless I donated to them in Bitcoin. Bitcoin. I wish I saved that email actually, that shit was funny. I would love to put that through Microsoft SAM or something. Oh, speaking of Microsoft SAM, where is he? He's gone! He's been slaughtered after XP. Excuse me. Drinking carbonated drinks is kind of crazy. In my activity feed, there is unknown user followed you. I assume I got followed by a bot and then blocked it. Or it was a bot that followed me and then they got banned. When I was young, my brother was an older teenager and he had installed LimeWire. You can probably tell where this is going. He had installed LimeWire. And I think he like pirated a Lil Wayne album or something. And lo and behold, our computer had an STD a while later. But of all things to pirate, why pirate Lil Wayne? Me, I had my own little folder on the desktop whenever I used the computer, full of things like TF2 mods or whatever. TF2 is still very fun to mod to this day. I think I'm done menuing, because I can't really make anything else here. And I'm still waiting for this to come out in 27 minutes. But whenever Windows Vista came out, I thought it was so cool how you can put clocks on the desktop, or calendars, or that weird piece shuffling game. That was cool for about 2 minutes, and then I never used the widgets again. And then Microsoft abandoned the widgets. It's a shame, because widgets were fun. It was nice to have a giant clock on the desktop. It would be nice to have a giant clock on the desktop now if it had the little highlight color as my background. Like, a purple clock would be nice. I would love to have a purple clock. I can't use any of these. Oh, I can use these, but I'm not going to buy them. Price Machine kind of sort of broke, because I don't think they costed this back in the day, but here we are. Like, damn, look at this. I never even paid this much to make my own Death Dancer. I'm not playing this song. I will not play this song. I don't know if that song is protected or not, but I have a feeling it is. So I'm just gonna move on to the Namco side of my music, and we're playing Pac-Man music. I clicked on the wrong song, but this works. That's the end of this, huh? Is there any good armor I can buy? Oh, there is, but it costs an arm and a leg, so no. That's a no. If I'm gonna go out, I should buy the maximum amount of healing items. I have resurrection items, photon charges, dimate, trimate. I should buy star atomizers. And I still have this grilled hot dog in my inventory. Windows Vista was actually okay. To me, at least, because I never saw anything, like, blatantly wrong about it, like people keep talking about, because I just keep hearing, it's bad, it's trash, it's bad, ugh. But no one elaborates on that. It was just an operating system. I assume people are upset because it might have been slow or something, but I never experienced that personally. I should move this because I have my palette organized for crowd control and then single targets, but I use my handguns for crowd control, so... Believe it or not, I use handguns as a AoE weapon. But yeah, I don't understand why people just, you know, are so visceral about Windows Vista. It's basically Windows 7. I don't know why it's quote-unquote bad. I mean, sure, it looks a little aged these days. Oh my god, wildtangent. That's a name I haven't heard in so long. Wildtangent games are actually pretty good, and I'm pretty sure my grandma actually bought a subscription to Wildtangent because I saw significantly more games this one time. I don't know if anyone on the planet knows what this game is, but there was this Frogger knockoff that they had. It was called Varmints, and you played as little trash gremlin animals like raccoons and foxes trying to cross various streets. And it had voice acting and silly music. I loved that game when I was like 8 or whatever. Wildtangent had some really good stuff on there, aside from, you know, the stuff that everyone and their mama has played, like Jeweled and whatever. But Jeweled still goes hard too. These robots are a pain to kill, because once you kill them, they start self-destructing, and that self-destructing can knock you away and do big damage. But these robots in particular, this model, they're trouble because they shoot homing missiles. And they are affected very strangely by gravity. Oh, that's right. Open the door. Wildtangent was pretty strange with their method of demo games, though. Because like you said, you could keep playing until you close the game. I remember keeping Chuzzle open for an extended period of time because I just didn't want to pay for that game. Henshin! And Super Collapse! I just really liked puzzle games when I was younger. I think that's like the only genre of game that resonates with everybody, young and old. The games where you slide things. The games where you slide things. I surely hope that Super Collapse gets a new game. I don't even know if it has another game because the last time I mentioned Super Collapse, I was 10 years old. Crystal Maze! Crystal Maze! Crystal Maze! Oh, Crystal Maze. I had Crystal Maze on a horrible little itty-bitty laptop that I got for my birthday back in 2012. It came pre-installed with a couple of other Wildtangent games. I liked that game. Despite it being what it was, I liked the game. And I remember the Grim Reaper always going like, You. It was spooky. It kept little 12-year-old me up at night. Why do the enemies strafe? Why do they have, like, techniques? Speaking of enemies, I love some of the designs in this game, especially this mecha right here. It has 2 Gatlings on its arms, it's bipedal, and it shoots one at a time to let the other arm cool. Sometimes it'll stomp at you, and it actually backs away if you start getting too close to it. It's a cool enemy, but it is a pain to kill in higher difficulties. Well, Tenga had a different Fable? Speaking of Fable, Fable on 360 was cool. I didn't play very much of it myself because I used to watch my brother play it. But, any game that has a concept of good and evil is good. This server has not fixed the map. Like, I know Shin Megami Tensei has several games where you can choose to be good or evil. And I think that's literally the only game I can think of, besides Fable with a morality system. Oh, Fallout 2. What do you mean red means health? Green means health. Look at my little bar. Wait, you're audio only. Never mind. Speaking of that little laptop, I don't remember much of the games on it. Like, I just remember having Crystal Maze there. I think it was a sample version of Bejeweled, and it was some kind of point-and-click visual novel adventure where you, like, click on little mystery items. Shoot, what? No, I remember there was another RPG game inside of there. It looked very similar to Diablo, but I don't remember what wildtangent called it. But I know the first level that you were in, you were stabbing rats with whatever weapon you had, like you do in every early RPG. Why are rats always so villainized? I mean, sure, they're pests and they eat things that they're not supposed to eat. But, have you ever held a rat? You ever, like, picked up a rat gently? Like, look at their little eyes and tell me that's evil in there. Look at a rat. Tell me that thing is evil. They're just little friends, dude. These enemies are trouble. They have laser cannons. And they also have the same voice that my character has right now. Oh, that guy's enough trouble to actually knock me off my feet. That's not good. Plants vs. Zombies. Another computer that I had way back then actually had the full version installed by default, I think. Believe it or not. Or was it the full version? I don't remember. But still, I remember having PvZ on a laptop before and I played it from time to time. I never completed it because puzzle games make my brain hurt. Unless they're Super Collapse, because Super Collapse is based beyond belief, fact or fiction. I just like rats, dude. They have a bad reputation because they're carriers and whatnot. But nature just be wildin' sometimes because sometimes the prettiest animals are like the deadliest. You ever look at a Portuguese man of war? That is one of the prettiest animals on the planet. It's a sea creature, but if you touch it, you can die. I missed something. What did I just miss? Oh, I forgot to go in there. Jellyfish are also some of the prettiest things in the ocean. And yet, some of them are so dangerous if you touch them, you can die. Nature's just so wildly inconsistent in what you can and cannot touch. Because look at bears. Those are incredibly dangerous. And yet they just look like slightly different and weird dogs. Bears are incredibly dangerous and yet they just look like dogs. Unless you're Russian, in which they're domesticated for some reason. Why are there so many videos on the internet of just Russians riding bears? Or petting them? I have some concerns. Every day I wake up and I'm thankful that I've never had an encounter with a bear before. Because I would shit myself if I had to deal with the bear. Because without even working out, they are faster than some automobiles. Not to mention that without even working out, they can tip some automobiles. Oh shit, did I just get a rare weapon drop? No, I didn't. Not really. I did get a rare shield drop though. I can craft that. Cool. Lionfish are also kind of pretty, but they're an invasive species. That's a shame. They're also poisonous. Venomous or poisonous? I don't remember. If you touch it, you die. That's that kind of poison. The toxin. Probably shouldn't have sold that gun. Oh god, horses are crazy too, because I get the feeling that horses are a shitpost from whatever put us here, because they are some of the strangely built animals I have ever seen. Like, they're built for running, that is obvious by their design. But if they run for too long, they hurt themselves by running. What is going on? Make it make sense. Oh, that's probably why I started taking so much damage. My armor. This game's cool in some ways. Cool and bad, depending on who you are. Because it places some emphasis on type advantages, simply put. You might have noticed by now just by listening to me or watching, if you are watching on video, because your weapons and your armor have elements, and the enemies attack with certain elements. Fire, ice, lightning, ground, light, dark. It should be obvious which counters which, except for lightning and ground. Those counter each other. So it gets a little tricky because some enemies will cast magic, because sometimes you'll just see a ground elemented enemy spit out a fireball, and if you're wearing ice armor at that time, you get fucked. But it eventually just boils down to knowledge of enemy attacks with the combination of wearing the correct armor for the situation. Me right now, I keep it simple. I have a lightning armor and a ground armor because those are the most common enemy physical attacks and magical attacks. I plan to upgrade this armor as soon as I can, but I'm not good at video games, so I haven't done that yet. I'm getting clapped. I probably should not have put this on this difficulty. This is a longer mission too. Yeah, horses are just friggin' weird, bro. Like, they walk and run, but like, the more they do that, they break? They start degrading? They stop working properly? What the heck? I know domestic horses are like that because, you know, they depend on us to survive, but like, still, that shit's crazy. It's wild. No, it's domesticated, but it's wild. Ooh, the dark and spooky room. This room doesn't have any lighting. Oh, there's a switch to turn the lights on. Cool. I can see again. Actually, now that I think about it, human beings can't push themselves too hard either. But I don't think their lungs start bleeding if they sprint for too long. I mean, I know they'll feel like absolute and utter shit afterwards, but do they really suffer internal bleeding if they run for too long? This is a room. Who just builds a room full of poison traps? I would like to speak to the architect behind this area. I would like to write them a very strongly worded letter about this room. Actually, can I break these traps? Do they drop anything? They don't drop anything, do they? What happens if I shoot these robots? Do they stop shooting? Yeah, they can't shoot. Their attack is classified as magic. That's interesting. Well, not magic. That's lore unfriendly in Phantasy Star. Very few people in this universe are magicians. Most people cast what I call magic, but they're called techniques. Oh shoot! Someone joined me! I can't believe it! I'm not solo! Hello! Waving. I wonder what class you are. Let's also change my status. I'm live. Oh! You're a spellcaster! You have healing techniques! I love you, I love you, I love you. Let's get this bag, comrade. I also feel like utter trash after freaking sprinting. But that's just me because I'm built incorrectly. I lost the gene lottery. That and I'm already out of shape as is. I need to get in shape. That was a goal I made several years ago, but then the pandemic started. And there's no way I'm going to work out in the midst of a pandemic. I mean, the most workout I got was we're doing physical labor for a shop, a store. But I don't think I'm going to keep doing that. Oh, he can't buff me right now, that's a shame. I'm in beast mode, I can't be buffed. Buff already. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this transformation aspect is what got me into werewolves. Because the beast people inside of Phantasy Star Universe, this is their true form. Once they're physically strong enough, they can access it for a limited amount of time. Complete with Barbie doll anatomy. Oh, these enemies suck. They have pistols and they strafe around. I gotta shoot them back when the time comes. Yeah, that's why I was taking so much damage from these, because they're lightning elemented. And I was wearing ground armor, so I started getting my cheeks clapped. And this guy is smart because he brought a ground technique to deal with these lightning elemented enemies. And now, because this server has a very strange bug with nano blasting, the transformation that I was in, my character is just smoking. There's just a smoke particle coming out of me right now. And I know what this smoke particle is used for. It's used for a joke weapon, and yet here I am, smoking. My whole me is just smoking. Yep, those guys are also trouble. They have knuckles. It's always interesting whenever this game has humanoid enemies. And it's a shame that the later Phantasy Star games don't have humanoid enemies. It's mostly just shooting creatures. But there isn't much reason for there to be human enemies in the later games. Because in this game, there's terrorist organizations. There are people who have been possessed by what's essentially an old one. And there are just thieves. Big Bill Hell style. Bad deals. Cars that break down. The rogues. We missed a spot, comrade. Oh god, they are tearing me apart. That was a lot of bullets at me at the same time. I like the fact that they let everybody use giant machine guns now. That's one of the best things that PSU Clementine has brought us. Melee might not be the best choice for this area, because these enemies keep getting launched very far away whenever I do something with them. I need to level up that photon art, so I should probably work on it now. Should I play Arco Fighter? I don't know. Shoot, I was talking about something, but what was I talking about? Is it really important anymore? I don't know. Oh my god, these enemies are something else. The amount of bullets they put out is an atrocity. Should be counted as a war crime. Whenever they put a whole bunch of ranged enemies in one room, no. Bad. Horrible. You gonna heal or yeah, we're good to go. Let's get this bread. I think this is the end of this mission. Or is it? I don't remember. I like the environmental storytelling. You press this button, you get jumped. This song is also very good. Namco used it inside the Tekken 7 Arena stage, since it was temporarily Pac-Man themed. And I think this is the best song that I've heard in Tekken 7, and it's not even a Tekken song, it's a Pac-Man song. If by chance you cannot see the text, this song is called Pac Sky Emotion. It's from Pac-Man Championship Edition 2+. And it is one of the best sounds I've ever heard come out of my computer. I got interrupted. He just ignored me and went straight for my squishy friend. That's not cool. You have no idea how not cool that is. Why does he have aggro? I'm the guy that's with the swords. Speaking of, this guy's name is Joe Mama. funniest shit I've ever seen. I wonder if I could just keep on streaming this game. And I'll just keep on regularly getting, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 people to watch. It would be nice. Since I want to generate a little chilled out area where you can be. Okay, he got some shots in. That's good. I love that sound effect so much. Not the hit sound, but whenever you use your quote-unquote super, there is a giant fanfare for it. This enemy takes so much knockback whenever you hit it. I'm still smoking. I thought the smoke would be gone by now, but I guess not. Yeah, that's right, this is a long mission. Now that I think about it, it really does make sense putting this game inside the PSP, because it is that compact. This was initially made for the PlayStation 2, and the PSP could handle compressed PS2 games, i.e. Persona 3 Portable, Phantasy Star Portable 1 and 2, Chair Squeak. But one thing I want to know, why didn't this game come to the Nintendo 3DS? It seems like a great pick, because if you just de-res the graphics and the textures and all that, and then, you know, you add the functionality with, you know, what used to be Nintendo's network, this game probably would have sold, because it's a pretty dang good MMORPG, if you ask me at least. And there was already another different Phantasy Star game on the DS. It would have some audience. Phantasy Star Zero is pretty cool. It's connected to the original PSO, if you care about lore. It also just kind of plays like the original PSO, with a hint of PSU mechanics. You can't play Phantasy Star Zero online anymore because Nintendo shut down their servers. Unless you resort to alternative methods. I'm so glad this guy is here and he's like actively healing. He's making this mission significantly easier for me. Oh, I'm just noticed I'm not smoking anymore. Nice. Smoking's bad, kids. There's that sound effect I was talking about. It just goes whoa. It lets you feel like the main character of an anime for just a second. They announce your super move with that grand sound. Here I am, lamenting what could have been. Because I think Phantasy Star could have really just gotten around if they put it on the 3DS, or if they made an actual portable, like mobile Phantasy Star game that is not Phantasy Star Online to ES or Phantasy Star Idla. ES is a significantly watered down version of PSO 2, and I understand how someone could enjoy it, but it's not my game. And Idle of Phantasy Star is just, it's not Fate Granddaughter, we promise. We didn't copy their homework. And Phantasy Star ES and Phantasy Star Idol have some of the most bland designs I've ever seen. And they did reintroduce the Beast race, but they made a fatal mistake. They did that dumb trope of making the males actually anthropomorphic animals, but the females, they just look like anime cat girls. They chickened out. Now, if there was a Phantasy Star mobile game that wasn't that, and I don't know, let's say it had its own story and stuff like that, you know, the stuff that RPG games have, the essentials in place, and it's still an action RPG. Well, maybe not action on mobile, but maybe if there was something like that, I think the series would have more of a spark here in the West, rather than people going to a private server to play a game from 2005. Or a game from 1999. Or, no, PSO came out in 2000. People still play the original Phantasy Star Online Blue Burst on a private server. No, private servers, plural. I play on a server that's called Affinia from time to time, because I want to complete the game's story mode. I want to know who Red Ring Rico is and why she's so... I should have saved my transformation for these three bastards. There's three of these chain gun robots I was mentioning earlier. I like their design, but, you know, they are frustrating to fight. Generally speaking, if you like mecha designs, you'll like some of the enemy designs in this game, I think. Because there are some really interesting critters in this game, I gotta say that. They all reuse the same AI and stuff, but there's just some cool stuff in here, I promise. It'll probably sound like you're really annoying uncle right now, but, you know, I'm talking about things I'm passionate about on my stream. It's my stream, I get to make the rules. Speaking of, I probably have to update my stream rules. I don't know what I have in there anymore. I remember I said something like no politics, but that should just kind of happen sometimes. You can't stop it. Generally speaking, don't be racist, and you're fine. So, don't be Hulk Hogan. Now, I think you have some delay compared to where I'm actually at in the stream. I know you said you'll try it someday, but I don't know where you said I'll try it someday. So I do not know what the context of that message is. If you're talking about Phantasy Star Online Blue Burst, maybe give it a go, because the private servers are free. And, you know, you could always just stop playing if you didn't like what you saw. The games are very dated, almost archaic in some ways, because the movement system is something else in the original PSO. But I can still play the game, because the community is still alive, and there are some very nice people on there. I remember just logging in, and then veterans would randomly join me, drop some high rarity weapons they didn't want anymore, and suddenly I have some of the rarest items in the game. Incredibly incredible. Unfreaking believable. Wait a second, I missed something, didn't I? Yeah, I missed something. Yeah, I see. Thank you for watching out, Joe Mama. That door requires a key. Key 2. Oh, these are the close combat robots. Another thing, the robots in this game have little small nuances about their design that let you know what they're for. Because the generic close combat drones just kind of look basic. But if they're for ranged combat, they're gonna have a little cannon on top of them. Huh? Did I not get EXP for killing that one? That's a shame. My friend, you should have a mag to cure yourself of burn, so you don't just be set on fire. Because burning is no good. I miss those attacks. There was Plants vs. Zombies in the 3DS? No. I mean, I knew there was balloons, but in hindsight, it makes perfect sense to put PvZ on 3DS. But I'm just in awe. It's a little mobile game, and you put it on a mobile console. You do the math, and it makes sense. And yet here I am, dumbstruck, dumbfounded, flabbergasted even. Oh, it was Plants vs. Zombies on the DS. Okay. I mean, that makes more sense because the DS was so affordable and all that. But still. My point kind of sort of still stands. Man. The DS was such a good console. It wasn't that expensive, you could buy all sorts of games for it. Man, I think that was peak Nintendo, kinda sorta. But that's just the nostalgia talking. Weren't we just here? We were just here, weren't we? Yeah, we were just here. Okay. Are we going in circles? No, this is a new area. The enemies are here now. Some of my favorite games are on the Nintendo DS. Pokemon Diamond, Platinum, Soul Silver, Pokemon Black. New Super Mario Brothers is one of the best that I've ever played. The first one, New Soup, the first New Soup. That's literally the way that you take an old game and then make it literally new. Because I love the blue shell power-up so much. I like just crouching and then suddenly the enemy can't hit me anymore. This is a big mission. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and Black White 2 are peak Pokemon. That's a bit of a hot take, but I can agree with you. Because Heart Gold, Soul Silver never fixed that issue with the level scaling, but they're still solid games because they're built on Gen 4. And I think they fixed the issue of HP like going at the speed of molasses. Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. I never played that one. I feel like I'm missing out by having not played it. But I remember always being charmed by that game as a kid because it had the Toon Link. Little bright colors have always appealed to my little walnut-sized brain. Which is why I like this game, because during this time the game came out, everything else was brown and gray, and yet here we are with laser swords and all these colors, and the enemies are running away from me. It's a different rant for a different time, but the DS, there was great stuff. Speaking of Pokemon, I don't like the way the series is going now, and I don't want to sound rabid, but I haven't bought Let's Go Pika Eevee, and I haven't bought Sword or Shield because of the Dex cut. Like, that was a huge red flag. Like, once a console game can't handle 800 Pokemon, that seems strange. Considering that 3DS was able to handle like 700, why can't the Nintendo Switch handle more? It's a more powerful console. And Pokémon is the biggest franchise on the planet. It don't add up. It don't. At all. Oh, these enemies are bugs. Are these the rare ones or the regular ones? But, once again, talking about Pokémon. What's going on? Where's the quality? Like, the lack of voice acting, or even, not even just voice acting altogether. I mean, like, they couldn't even just go, ooh, for Pierce's singing in that cutscene. They opted to keep him silent and then keep the weird sound design in there. The Pokemon themselves are fine, the designs are cute, but... And I don't really care about the story that much, because the last story I cared about was in black and white, and Sun and Moon had a funny story because they were Team Skull, and, you know, I love Team Skull. And, of course, there's the issue of the graphics that people keep talking about. I'm probably gonna sound either stupid or sophisticated about this, depending on who you are. But it's a shame that Pokemon Sword and Shield and Pokemon Legends Arceus looks like that, considering what Nintendo Switch is capable of. Like, look at Mayro Odyssey, and look at the Zelda of Zelda, Breath of the West. And then look at Pokemon. The Pokemon is so far behind in that department, but you know, graphics ain't everything. So let's talk about gameplay. Let's look at all the removed moves from the game. You know, shit that was meta-defining, such as Pursuit. And all the removed Pokemon. Oh! Oh shit, I died! All the removed Pokemon. I died again? What the heck? Something insta-killed me. What the heck just killed me? What keeps killing me? I mean, I wouldn't care that much about the graphics if they were at least animated nicely. Because the Pokemon on Nintendo Switch are still animated with the same things that they've been using since 2013 on the 3DS. I know that the models were designed to be ageless in a sense, but the cracks are starting to show. Because if you look at Pokemon X and Y, look at the Pikachu model, and then look at the Pikachu model in Sword and Shield, not only is it the exact same, but it doesn't have any new animations. And then you can look at games like Pokemon Battle Revolution or Pokemon XD. Sure, those are older games and the dex was smaller, but surely they can handle something like that on a console, right? Surely they can do something, right? Anyway, I think I'm gonna stop talking about Pokemon because I'm gonna sound like a lunatic in a few seconds if I don't. But yeah, they got rid of the trumpets! They got rid of the doots! ORAS was cool, but you know, there's no battle frontier and all that, and there's not as many trumpets, there's not as many doots. And something too much water, but, you know. I wonder if that's a bug, like is that enemy supposed to one-shot you, or did it always do that? I mean, there's still some trumpets in ORAS here and there, but, you know, the excessive trumpet is no longer there. The music in that game was serviceable. It did what it needed to do, and didn't overstep its boundaries. I'm just gonna drop this photon charge for him. I don't remember if you need permission to post a link in chat or not, but you can go ahead and try, and if you can't, give me just a moment to approve the link. Just let me know after you attempt to do that, because I forgot what I had my settings to. Because I think I turned links off after bot raids were becoming a thing. I don't recognize the URL, but with the text, I can assume you sent the high quality animations video. I said I was going to stop talking about Pokemon, and yet. But high quality animations is some of the funniest shit because they kind of sort of lied about it, but at the same time, is it really a lie? Because some of the battle animations are cool, i.e. the effects, not the models. Sure, some of the new Pokemon have flair because there's Score Bunny who hops up and down, but then there's Cinderace who's just standing there. Yeah, it must be those enemies that are instant killing. I'm gonna shoot them. I will click on that in just a second when I'm not in danger. Yeah, it's these things that keep insta killing. Why can they do that? Why can they do that? This is a sin. Why can they instantly kill you? But yeah, I agree with that statement. If you watch the Blue Muppet Man on YouTube, Arlo, he has a pretty good review on Sword and Shield because it feels unpolished in several areas. Because, like, the move animations for Dynamaxing look great for the Nintendo Switch. They're very stylized, and, you know, they have some flair to them, but then you look at the models just standing there. It's like if, I don't know, Sega posted a game where the main character is T-posing, but then there's a bunch of cool effects around him because they paid the effects team more than the modeling team, and the animation team, and the texturing team. These damn things again. I gotta keep moving, gotta keep shooting. This enemy is horrible game design. They're super far away from you and they can instant kill? You need to fire the employee that thought of that. Alright, change my bullet to electricity bullets. That way they can stun the enemy. Wait, I forgot. Pokemon X and Y come out in 2013 or 2012? Because I was a middle school kid at the time, and I don't want to remember much of middle school, so I don't remember much of what happened. I just remember really kind of sort of liking X and Y's plot, with Lysandre wanting to exterminate the human race because he has Sag. Where's the enemy at? It went behind him. That's it! That's GG. But some good things happened in middle school, like Smash 4 came out in 3DS, and Smash 4 3DS is very close to me. Despite it being what it was, you know, a 3DS version of Smash. Not the best. But it was pretty good for what it was, all things considered. I have too many items in my inventory, dang. I gotta sort through shit now. Drop those Peori mates. But yeah, the models are old. Old! This mission must give a lot of mission points. Yeah, it does, I see. Gonna abandon. But yeah, I think I'm done giving my old, weird, dumb advice about Pokemon now. They just... Free my man Typhlosion. Free my homie Typhlosion, okay? That's all I gotta ask for. They locked him up. They won't let him out. He's in the vault. Metroid Samus Returns is a pretty good game, so I've heard. I'm not the biggest Metroid fan, but I played a few games here and there. I haven't played the original. I started with Metroid Fusion, which is a strange thing. I didn't buy it. It was given to me by this cool website called Cool ROMs, but then they stopped selling it, so. I think I will run this mission again, but dang, I'm gonna need some more escape dolls because those enemies really can just instantly kill you. I should sort these, because dang, this is weird. Wait, no, I don't need those. I think you were correct, Gus Cordy, because Pokemon Emerald, Heart Gold, or Soul Silver, Black White 2, those are very, very good, but you forgot Pokemon Platinum, my favorite one. Therefore, everything that you just said is invalidated. But those picks are pretty good. Those are the good ones. X and Y was still pretty good. I think people were too harsh on it. it kind of sort of just was foreshadowing for whatever next one was gonna be, and we got Ores. I am sorry, stream, but I need to take a short break. I will be right back. You get to see my rarely used BRB screen, and I'm going to leave you with Ridge Racer 4 music. I'll be with you shortly. I'm back! I'm back! And I have a cookie. I got some water and handled other things. Just a short bio break. Something else about this game that I like that other games are missing is that the missions have lore. There's a little small paragraph of flavor text about what you're about to do. It gives reason as to why you're killing monsters. Or, in this case, unaliving robot citizens. For this mission, there's a bunch of infected people. And they need you, a member of the Guardians, to find out what they're up to. You search for XY ROM hacks. I'm starting to wonder why I never did that. Because back when XY came out and I was a youngin', I knew about the existence of ROM hacks, but I never thought to search up for 3D Pokemon ROM hacks. Speaking of XY, roller skating! That was as close as I could get to Pokemon and Jet Set Radio being in the same, room. If only Sakurai had listened to me instead of everybody else and put Beat from Jet Set Radio in Smash. Oh! If only, if only, if only. I would love if ROM hacks that quote-unquote make the game harder were more than just increase enemy level. Like, if they made the enemy smarter by making them use less useless moves like, I don't know, Mud Sport or something like that, I think that would make the game a bit more difficult. And, you know, make trainers have more Pokemon. Make it less of a problem and more of, you know, a challenge to go to other trainers. But I'm not exactly a game designer, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. Wrong type of bullet to use, but... Excuse me. Another thing I miss about X and Y is, I forgot what they call it. Was it the PSS? Yeah, it was the PSS, the Player Search System. Now, that was a very interesting thing when X and Y first came out because you could be connected to the internet and talk to other trainers almost anywhere. And you could randomly just say nice to people. It was fun, but I hear why they've never done that again is because it took a massive toll on Nintendo servers when X and Y first came out. But that's just a rumor on the internet, so do your own research before believing what a random person playing Phantasy Star has to say. But now that I think about it, Pokemon X and Y really does just kind of feel like an older handheld game adapted for the 3DS, because avoiding some of this stuff, like the fact that the first forest is literally shaped like Viridian Forest. A lot of the NPCs don't like move in 3D angles. I know the protagonist can because they're the player, but there's a lot of other elements that are static despite, you know, the technology being around at that time. The 3DS came out in like 2011 and there was plenty of, not plenty, but you know, there was time to get used to the hardware. But I can only complain so much about a game from 2013. 2013? It was 2013, right? I believe it was 2013, but... Oh, 2013 was an eventful year. I started playing TF2 back in 2013, I think. And then my life changed forever. Then I joined Tumblr, and it's been a very long downhill ride ever since. I've been seeing talk about this ever since Octopath came out on Switch, but I would love a Pokemon game to have the sprites, but a 3D background. Like Klonoa or something like that. A 2.5D Pokemon game. Like, imagine rotating the camera around in a Pokemon game when it still had sprites. I'm smoking again. But I think it would be really cool to be able to do that. I just get the feeling you could do a lot more with dungeons and Pokemon instead of making them straight lines if you could rotate a camera around. Sure, there's the wild area, but models popping in and out doesn't really, you know, have the same surprise as finding an item after you use an HM. But I'm just a rando on the internet. I don't know about game design, so as I said before, think twice before you listen to me. I'm just some dude playing Phantasy Star in pajama pants. I'm just some dude. Speaking of Octopath, I need to finish that game. I mainly stopped because I reached a roadblock, so to speak. I'm at a point in the game where enemies are ridiculously high leveled, but you need to start grinding to catch up to them, otherwise you're just gonna get clapped. And I don't like grinding for a really long time. Especially in turn-based games. In games like this I can do it because you need to keep your eyes on things, but you don't need to like pay attention too hard, you know? The main reason I keep playing these games today is that I can turn my brain off as I play because I mainly play melee classes. The ones that are built different. They're built to take hits. And I also think, I said I was going to stop talking about Pokemon, but I've given up on that at this point. But I freaking love Pokemon. I just wish that they didn't do the things they did in the past, such as the entire existence of Ultra Sun and Moon. That was highway robbery, and they got away with it. They straight up released an unfinished Sun Moon, and then they decided to drop a patch in the form of a new game. And I wish they just didn't do yearly releases, because if they didn't do that, there'd be more time to release a good game. Because Ultra Sun Moon had the same problems that Sun Moon did, being the 2-hour-long tutorial that is the first part of the game. 2 hours is a bit of an exaggeration, but still. That game was so much tutorial, and I've been playing Pokémon since I was 8? I think I was 8 when I got Pokemon Diamond. I think, yeah, Obama was still president back then. That shit's crazy. Actually, I will go break those boxes later. I need to focus on beating the shit out of this giant mech. Okay, that's all taken care of now. It only makes sense to talk about video games while I'm streaming a video game. Also, small thing. This item is called a Peori Mate. It's a parody of Calorie Mate. Something that I didn't really get until I played through Metal Gear Solid 3. It's honestly strange to see a franchise like Metal Gear Solid have product placement, but it is what it is. These enemies also pack a punch. The Ultra Sun Moon HUD replaced the Hawaiian HUD. I didn't really notice that part, but I just noticed that they made the window blue. Like, whenever characters are talking, it's blue for some reason. More and more games are having product placement. Man, look at the current state of sport ball games like NBA and Madden and all that. They have loot boxes and advertisements inside the main game. That is a sin. Anyway, That Mercedes collaboration inside of Mario Kart 8? It's blurst, because I can have an Inkling driving a Mercedes-Benz inside that game. Or whatever me I want to drive a Mercedes-Benz. Or I can put Mercedes-Benz wheels on the side of whatever the heck the Inkling's carts are. Because those are some interesting vehicles, I gotta say that much. Those. Wait, where's the last key? No, this is the wrong spot. This is a confusing little mission, ain't it? Oh, there are arrows! I'm supposed to go here, I see. That, my little walnut-sized brain can comprehend. It's still kind of funny though. You can put Mario inside of a Mercedes. It's like Outrun, but without the things that make Outrun Outrun. Anyway, I lost that joke because I was trying to make a parallel reference to the fact that Outrun has a bunch of Ferraris in it. And that's probably why Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast is never getting relisted on Steam. Because Sega probably doesn't want to pay for the Ferrari license. Oh, these enemies. These enemies are tough, but at least they don't instantly kill you. It's also a little polarizing to hear my own character's voice from these. Especially since I have a different voice, like a drastically different voice inside the English version of the game. This version of Phantasy Star Universe, the one that Clementine runs on, is based off the Japanese version because, unfortunately, for reasons unknown to man, the Western version of Phantasy Star Universe had significantly less content than the Japanese version. I don't know if it was because they didn't want to translate it, or they didn't want to import the assets or whatever, but we just didn't have so much crap. So many missions, environments, weapons, armor, stuff that never came this way. And because of that, all the voices are in Japanese. Now, someone made a little patch to bring the English voices back, but that kind of makes things inconsistent because you might make an old man character, but to someone with the Japanese voices on, your old man character sounds like he's 10 years old. Speaking of making old man characters, it's a little unequal here because you can easily make an old man, but it's a little harder to make an old woman character. So I decided to kind of sort of make my character look like he's in his 20s, but if you're trying to make an old female character, you're kind of out of luck because there are not many wrinkled faces in this game. Wrinkles not something to be ashamed of. It's a sign of how long you've been here. Your progress, your experience, so to speak. Oh, now we're in the Tekken part of the playlist. I should install more game soundtracks into this playlist so I have more things and it doesn't repeat the same songs every stream. But I doubt there's going to be a stream where I'm here for 10 hours to get every single song played. That guy's voice is something else. I bet he sounds very different in the English patch. He goes, Oria! Yeah, I forgot how strong my saber was. I should have invested in an A-rank saber a long time ago. It would be so powerful. It just occurred to me that these robots aren't wearing any pants, so to speak. They're in their underwear, kind of, sorta. Because in this game, the robot race, they're called casts. They have parts they can attach to themselves. Arm, leg, and body parts. Those enemies weren't wearing any leg parts, so they were essentially just going out in underwear. These guys. These guys are trouble, but not as bad as those saber enemies. I just reread that message. Look, Mom, it's the Mario car. Looking at a Mercedes-Benz. I think I misread it the first time I looked at it. When was the last time you saw a BMW inside of a video game? I think Midnight Club had one, but it's been a very long time since I played a Midnight Club game. Especially since Rockstar won't release any more Midnight Club games. Racing games are cool. I like the vibe they have, which is why I'm kind of excited to get the new Hot Wheels game. It came out a few weeks ago, I think. And it has some pop culture cars in it, but I don't care about those. I care about the Hot Wheels originals. And I used to be super big into Hot Wheels when I was a youngin'. I had a giant little suitcase, not giant little, but you know, they had a carrying case for Hot Wheels cars and I used to collect them. Whenever I saw something cool, I'd ask my mom to buy me a little $2 car. And I'd put them in my little case, and sometimes I'd bring it around to show people all the little cool cars I had. One of my favorite pieces of shovelware is a Hot Wheels game. World Race for the Game Boy Advance. I didn't even know Hot Wheels World Race was a movie until I looked up the game trying to download a ROM. And I'm only downloading a ROM because there's no way I'm going to purchase a game that old and of such low quality such as Hot Wheels World Race from the Game Boy Advance. Time to drink this water I bought. I know there is going to be some weird mouth noises on this VOD when I upload it later. But that's just part of the experience, okay? Don't worry about it. Don't think about it too hard. When you click on my videos that are of me streaming, you are getting all of me. I am all of me, and that's what you're gonna get. Weird lip noises and all. And I don't know if my fan is being recorded into the microphone because I live in Texas and it's hot as shit all year round. Except for February because ERCOT sucks. And of course, there's some weird shit going on with the planet altogether. I'm never gonna forgive the state government because some of my relatives might have died due to the cold. That wasn't cool, dude. Anyway, Tekken music. Tekken music is great. Fighting games from like 90s and 2000s had this sort of fun vibe to them that I cannot put my finger on. There's just something about them that just radiates, hey, come over here, let's have a good time, and I think it's just the music. Not even the characters, but if you have a banging soundtrack, people are going to remember your game for that. Like, to this day, I know people listen to Tekken Tag Tournament soundtrack. And Namco is such a fool for not putting Tekken Tag music inside of Kazuya's DLC for Smash. They put like 2 songs in there, and it's like the songs that no one cares about. No one being my opinion, so it's alright, don't worry about it. They could have put some of the cool ass songs in there, but they opted for the Tekken Tag Jin theme, which is inferior to his Tekken 3 theme, and the Hwoarang theme from Tekken Tag, which is inferior to his Tekken 3 theme. Welcome back to the stream. I'm talking about fighting game music. SNK was really good with their music. What was is wrong because KOF 14 had some good stuff in there. Especially the big band music, because that's not often seen, I don't think. I don't play a lot of fighting games as much as I used to because I like to win. I've never seen Twitch crash before, so that's an interesting experience to hear. I've had it go haywire during a bad connection day, but never crash. I liked that those enemies were waiting around the corner as if they were ambushing. Thanks for sticking around, Gus Qwerty. You a real one for that. And thank you, future viewers watching this VOD, and whoever is also lurking in the chat. You were also real ones. I like to imagine this stream as being a humble beginning, because I might blow up one of these days after another Dark Souls shitpost gets used by a Frenchman. I'll never forgive the French. They even colonized my comment section. It's in their blood. I've never gotten any comments on my scrolling text for music, so I hope it's actually visible inside of VODs. Ideally, you're going to be viewing my things on 1080 or 720p, so it should be visible, but I don't know about lower. And I noticed that I've been dropping some frames. I hope this doesn't look as bad as I think it's going to look. Regardless, this VOD is going up on my YouTube channel, because I had some cool things to say. And you had some cool things to say, Gus Qwerty. I might even link you inside the description whenever this goes up to YouTube. I don't know why I became British for a second. Audio only is valid. because most of the time I even turn on Twitch, I just need background noise. And I just like going to certain streamers for background noise. These bastards of enemies. This mission is long. I can only handle so much of the same green rooms over and over. That's one flaw this game has, because it's old and, you know, there's a lot of reused textures on things. These enemies actually have some cool moves. I wish we had some of those. I don't know if you can actually clearly hear the music, because I know it's playing at 15% of its maximum volume, but motherfucker, son of a bitch. But I hope it's still audible at least, because you should listen to Tekken Tag Tournament soundtrack. It's got good stuff in there. But I know you'll be able to hear the menu sounds, because Phantasy Star Universe is it begs to be heard. Demands to be heard, not begs. You will hear these menu sounds. You will hear the menu sounds. Points a gun to your head. You don't have a choice. You will hear the ding. I should level up a bullet for a machine gun. That way I can try to freeze enemies. I can also build the nano blast faster that way. I'm not playing any games with these enemies, and I'm just gonna kill them while I can. Them 0 damages, probably because I'm level 54 and they're level 40, but still. I like it when a game lets you get so strong that enemies do 0 damage to you. But I'm also losing steam. And I think I'm just gonna call it quits after I finish this mission. I've been here for a while. And you, viewer, have also been here for a while. So you can do something else. While I just go lie in bed and Shiro post on Twitter, but it's still Shiro Day. Oh, ooh, it's him again. You just shoot at him with the clock. Make sure he can't get up again. Where'd it go? There you go. No sir, not letting you fire that off. Another one. Oh, that's a saber. Okay. Now I'm reminded of Fate Stay Night because saber. Saber! If you're watching this right now and you by any chance play Fate Grand Order on the United States server, don't forget about Saber Wars. There's no welfare servant, but you still get a Holy Grail at the end. And don't hoard your Holy Grails. Use them on the servants you love the most. Me, I grailed the Archer from Fate Stay Night because I love him. I'm not going to say his name because he's a walking spoiler in that aspect. And I don't want to spoil Fate Stay Night for people who haven't finished it. I know the visual novel is decades old. Well, a decade. 1 or 2 decades. It came out a long time. But Unlimited Blade Works is peak fiction. I'm so sorry about that strange ASMR. I live right above my house's garage. So whenever someone uses the garage, my mic picks it up. It was very nice of this person to join. I wonder if this guy actually looked for my stream though. It would be funny if he was here the whole time. And that's that. My inventory is full again? But how? I don't... Oh, that's probably why. Oh, we just pick up this stuff. And let me look at all this. I probably could use to clear some of this inventory, honestly. Yeah, it was worth it. I'm gonna send this guy my card, so if I see him around again, or if he sees me around again, we can party up again. I don't know what that item is exactly, but... Okay. Now this looks like a lovely little area. I need to menu through this real quick. Please bear with me. Alright, that's all the menu I'm doing for now. This too, but you know, hold on. See you around, wave. And now I'm just gonna forcibly close this game in its life by the task manager. And now I'm done streaming. This is the part where I tell you to play Jet Set Radio. Please play Jet Set Radio. And I'm not gonna raid anybody. I don't really have anyone to raid. So hopefully I'll see you around. Windows XP sound effect. Bye. Take care.